Today, I'm really excited to be touring you guys through the Century Group office. This project tour features the recently completed Century Group head office, which is located in New Westminster, just outside of Vancouver. It's a 14,000 square foot office, which is huge. The House of Bohn team started designing the office in 2017. The entire design and construction process took over a year, so Century Group moved into their new office in the fall of 2018. Century Group is a large real estate development company, and they really believe in their people. One of the things that was really important to Century Group is that they didn't want to have an office that felt overly corporate or stuffy. They wanted it to be fun and modern. When designing the office, we collaborated with architect Gare Williamson to create a design that is unique to Century Group's values and philosophy. The company was established in the 60s, and with deep roots in the Greater Vancouver area, we knew we wanted to create an office that reflected a West Coast design, Century Group's mission of leading by design, and a space that feels mature yet playful at the same time. Because Century Group is a real estate development company with an extremely large portfolio of buildings and land, our design concept was to create a city within a city, and this concept inspired our space plan. We really wanted the space plan to feel like the way that you moved around the office is the way that you would circulate around a city. The reason we did that is because the entire office is located on one single floor, and you've got 360-degree views of New Westminster. In order to achieve an office that feels fun and warm and playful, we really kept the interior design palette relatively simple. Our design inspiration began with natural wood tones, white, neutral colors like gray, and lots of glass to both introduce light into the space and convey a sense of transparency within the company. You'll see around the office, there's a lot of wood paneling that was designed to be in two tones of wood, a light and a medium toned, in a really fun, playful geometric pattern. Also with the flooring in the office, we kept that really simple by maintaining the floors almost completely gray. It's carpeted in the areas where the workspace is, and then tiled in the high traffic areas like the lobby and the kitchen. So the white, the wood tone, and the gray really was the jumping off point for the color palette in the entire office. And then last but not least, we made sure that we used black as an accent throughout the space. I love spaces that have a little bit of black because I feel like it really grounds the eye and helps to frame out certain areas in a space. A lot of the private offices are framed in black. Additionally, the boardroom areas also are framed in black. The windows have a really nice black metal frame with mullions, and that just gives it almost a little bit of an industrial character. And this whole strip where the meeting rooms are looks like a little bit of a retail space, as though you've got retail units that are lined up with their very own signs. They're essentially the name of each of the meeting rooms. From there, we layered in color. I made punchy colors of saturated red and orange, bright blues, mostly through the furniture. The element of color really gives the space the playful feel that we were after, as well as evokes a sense of creativity and artistry, which is part of Century Group's philosophy about work and design. As you get off any one of the 3 elevators, you walk right into the lobby. We actually lowered the ceiling in the lobby. That way, when you come into the lobby, it doesn't feel overwhelming or expansive. It actually feels really cozy and intimate in this space. On either side of the lobby, the ceiling opens up and you've got a completely open ceiling. In the lobby, we've got 3 distinct areas. You've got the reception area with storage in behind. We have a cluster of furniture that acts as a seating area. And we also have the coffee bar. What's really great about the coffee bar is that it doubles as a meeting space. The initial floor that we chose for the lobby was a polished marble, but we decided not to use marble in the end because marble actually has a tendency to scratch. So we opted for a porcelain tile that does have a sheen to it. Even though the vibe is already really fun, a little bit West Coast, a polished tile gives you a sense of luxury. And finally, my favorite thing about the lobby is that this is actually one of the access points right into their kitchen. I've been told that this is one of the most highly used spaces in the entire office. It feels really youthful and there's a lot of energy in this kitchen. And what I also love about this kitchen is that there's a ton of personality. We've got a really, really fun pattern tile on the floor. Again, the background of the tile is gray, but then there's pops of colors like a burnt orange, yellow, and a blue. All the furniture in this kitchen is custom made. The tables are made by a local company called Lock & Mortis. These tables, which have a beautiful natural finish, are made from red oak. So you really get to see the true essence of the wood, which feels very West Coast, and you'll see throughout the space, this matches with all the other millwork that's in this space. The chairs are fun chairs with this light yellow vinyl on them, and the yellow really pops, especially against this playful colored tile. The other color that we chose to incorporate is blue. So behind me, we've got this blue banquette, and then in front of me, we've got almost this tealy, greeny, blue colored kitchen. We decided not to overly detail the cabinets with something like a shaker or any other kind of millwork profile, so these are just a painted millwork door. For the countertops, we used a quartz material, and then we've got a really nice subway tile for the backsplash. The combination of these colors just have a really playful and fun effect. What I love about this corridor is a couple things. I love that this corridor is angled. This just ended up being a fluke because of the architecture of the building, but there's something about corridors that have different types of angles that feel really interesting and unique. The other thing that I love about this corridor is that this actually ends up being Century Group's storytelling wall. So what we decided to do is incorporate flat screen TVs into the wall, which is paneled in the two-toned wood, and they can loop photos of projects that they're currently working on, past projects, portfolio pieces. It's the perfect place for storytelling because as your guests come to the office for meetings, they're going to see this wall. Across from the storytelling wall is where you will see the meeting rooms. We are currently standing in the central meeting room, which is the smaller of the three. This meeting room can seat 10 people. Even though these meeting rooms are relatively simple, they have a lot of personality, which I love. First and foremost, we have a really great carpet design. The carpet has a few different colors that have been pulled out of the same color tones from the kitchen tile and the backs of these chairs. And the carpet has been laid in a triangular geometric fashion that sort of plays off of all the geometric wood paneling that you see throughout the space. The big meeting room tables are a custom design, and they're manufactured again by Lock & Mortis with the same red oak that is used throughout the space, so that there's a sense of consistency with the millwork in the meeting rooms and throughout the office. One of my favorite details in the meeting rooms are the meeting chairs. We decided to do a custom design for these meeting chairs, which is actually very, very difficult to do and to execute. Because Century Group owns a lot of land in Greater Vancouver, especially out towards Tsawwassen, they're also really into farming and agriculture. So this fabric, you can see it was inspired by farming. There's farm animals, tractors, a barn, pitchforks, stuff like that. It's a really adorable fabric and something that you really, really would not expect to see in an office of this size. But again, it just lends itself to the playful nature that is Century Group and adds a really nice design touch to the entire office. There's two types of lighting in the meeting rooms. There's the perimeter lighting, which is recessed lights, and then there's a central light, which is a fixture by Matt McCormick, and he's a local lighting designer from Vancouver. We've incorporated a lot of black, and the reason that we've done that is to play off of the black that you see throughout the space, but also if you're having a meeting and you're not having any visuals, the TV sort of just hides against the black wall. Looking at a meeting room like this, you might ask yourself, why is one side of the room really stylish and full, while one side is just a plain white wall? But these are actually painted with a scribble wall paint. When Century Group first approached us about designing their office, they told us over and over again that they really needed collaboration space and they love whiteboard space. So using a whiteboard paint was a really great solution for an office that loves to collaborate, and you'll see these walls throughout the space. This is the largest of the three meeting rooms and probably my favorite meeting room, because not only is it a corner meeting room, but it also has incredible views of the river that's just outside. It gets the most amount of light, so it is really warm and seats 14 people, but it's incredibly spacious. Another small addition to the meeting rooms are these little cubes. They add a pop of color, but they're also seat height. So if you ever need to fit or squeeze more people into a meeting room, you can just pull a few cubes over and have people join the meeting. And because they're lightweight, it's really easy to move them around from meeting room to meeting room. So they're super functional and they add a nice little playful touch. What's great about the south side is that you get the most incredible light on this side of the office. The boardwalk was designed to have a lot of desk space. We designed tables to have lamps, charging areas where you could plug in your computer or your phone, and different zones where you could have a small meeting or work independently if you wanted to. On my right side, you'll see file cabinets are encased in the two-tone wood paneling. The majority of this file storage was actually brought over from the old office. We tried to reuse as much furniture and pieces from the old office as we could, just to maintain a sense of sustainability. And then we also have these open slats. What I love about these open slats is that they're painted in the front and back in white, and then in between the slats they have the wood material on them. The open slats serve to bring a lot of this beautiful southern light into the workspace, but also creates a separation from the workspace to the boardwalk. We're currently standing in one of the work zones, and the way this was designed was to segregate different departments, but to also have a feeling of intimacy within a department. What I love about this work zone is that we've got these really fun light fixtures that hang up above, but below an open white ceiling. So there's a total of 3 phone rooms that are spread out around the office, and they were designed to be like old English telephone booths. They've got heavy duty doors, and when you're inside one of these phone rooms, you have an opportunity to make a private call without anybody hearing you. Unlike the south side that is a lot darker in the morning and really bright and warm in the afternoon, what I love about north-facing views is that you have such an even light throughout the day. The north side of the office is a little bit smaller than the south side in terms of width. So you'll see here on the north side, you don't have the division that you do have on the south side. So this north side is a very open concept workspace. The office design achieves the West Coast aesthetic that we were after. It accommodates the 80+ people that work in the office, and not only is the space beautiful, but all of the areas are also incredibly functional and unique. So no matter where you are in the office, it almost feels like it has its own personality. But it especially reflects the personality of the Century Group. So that's it for my tour of the Century Group office. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another project tour.